Has an unknown creature recently stolen or eaten a friend or family member? Do you think the creature to be bizarre and never seen before? Odds are it was some kind of cryptid. Join us on helping you find out which one it was on today's episode of Cryptids Ate My Neighbors, also known as the Den of Flies.
I don't want to be recorded.
Well, too bad.
No, not even nothing.
You were going to do the one anyways.
Yes, well, that's a different one.
Well, I'm recording,
That
so
look.
if he doesn't want to be in it, I can cut him out.
He said he can cut you out.
No, I can explain it.
Okay.
And then is he good?
Yep, you're good.
Okay.
After the last ice age around northern New York, the St. Lawrence Valley was an ocean or a sea called the Champlain Sea because of the ice, or what the hell was it called? Iceberg,
Ice Age?
No,
The big melt?
glaciers.
Oh.
As the glacier was receding because it plugged up where the St. Lawrence drained into the ocean, created a giant sea, which is what they think like where Champy came, because that would have been the time for it. And as everything receded, it formed Lake Champlain, which is what Champy's named after.
That's interesting.
That's it, I guess.
Thank you.
All three people will hear it. Maybe 4 this week. Maybe 6 if
We might have 5.
looks like maybe 6 if Mara and Grace get off their ass. Tell them to record that and play it.
Cut that part out, please.
No, don't cut it out. I'll give you $20.
I don't need to be.
Looks like we're not cutting it out.
Jake's just like, oh yeah, free money. The last video got 33 views,
Next
actually.
week's episode can be about friends and how they should support you.
Was it the one that was talking about a bunch of lollies?
Zombies.
No, the lolly one got like 22.
Because that would have been the last one. Because the newest one isn't the last one. That's the newest one, Brian. Get it right.
Fuck's
Isn't that
sakes,
the same
Jake.
thing?
Anyways, we need to introduce ourselves. I'm Brian, also known as the guy who does most of the research beforehand, but doesn't do it lately because I'm too fucking lazy because of work. And those are the other two, Miranda and Jake. Say hello.
Hi.
I don't know what's going on.
Jake is in a perpetual state of doesn't know what's going on, as well as I.
I literally don't even know what's going on with this
I
one.
usually figure out what's going on right before it happens, kind of. Probably not, usually, though.
I guess that's usually because I forget to like figure out what we're doing the week before. Because
Yeah,
I'm
we
always
figure
tired.
out what we're doing, like, maybe a couple days or, like, a minute before we start filming.
Well, next week is aliens, so we can do research on aliens. I know that for a fact. I
have a
know,
story for
Jake.
that.
I know you're not going to research it. You never
Of
do.
course not.
I
I
do the
wouldn't.
day of. The day we're supposed to do it, and then that way it's kind of, like, fresh in my head.
I didn't research this one just because I've listened to like so many fucking podcasts.
I don't even know what this one is.
Cryptids. Also,
I asked
basically,
you what that was.
I'm sorry I didn't answer you. I didn't hear it. I'm basically deaf 40% of the time of my life. Anyways, cryptids are basically just
40.
myths from their fucking like local areas. Like
Like Bigfoot and
yeah,
the
Bigfoot,
Mothman,
Loch Ness monster.
Oh, so the Yu-Gi-Oh
Black-
card.
Champy.
Yes, sure. Champy, which is apparently one near where Miranda lives, which is very interesting. There's nothing near where me and Jake live. We just have trains. And drugs. Lots of drugs. Not the good kind either. Usually like the really bad kinds that'll fuck you up.
Like most.
Nah.
You
Weed
like
doesn't
Mothman,
fuck you
right,
up.
Brian? Here you go.
Jeez, what are you posting now? It better be another frog. Okay, good. See, there's a good addition to the podcast. Jake gave us a Mothman
Wait,
card from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Wait, Brian. There's an even better one.
He's got another one. Ooh,
Th-
let's see this shit.
one has 3 chins, and it's a tiny pink snake.
That looks like my skink.
Oh, the Tsuchinoko. from Japan.
Question mark.
It does have a question mark. That's hilarious.
It doesn't know.
I guess it
has
doesn't know.
3 chins.
The Tsuchinoko was a really weird one. I wonder if it's on this list. I think that one actually might be a different kind because the Japanese they have so much weird bullshit that it's in their own set of bullshit.
This is also an NA exclusive archetype.
I like that giant anaconda is listed. And then for the description, it's just called giant snake.
Big
But it doesn't actually have a name. The name is giant anaconda.
Sorry, the bridge of my nose kind of hurts because I haven't gotten new glasses in like 3 years, and the plastic bits are missing.
Oh,
It's
no.
stabbing into my face lately.
I'm just getting over being sick, so I still sound a little stuffy, so.
I mean, we all sound kind of nasally, like all the time. So
Tis the
we're fine.
year.
No, maybe I should just change my microphone 1 second.
Jake, don't use a worse microphone, please.
All right, there we go.
I would say I could actually hear a difference in the mic.
Oh, of course there is a difference in the mic.
Are you using the better or the worse one?
There is no other microphone. I only have 1 microphone, Brian.
Oh, that's right. You have a PC.
No, I have 1 microphone. You know what microphone I have.
Yeah, you have the same microphone I have.
I know that.
But I have 2 because I have a laptop. And the laptop
'Cause
has
you
a mic of its
suck.
own. Yes, I
I
know.
use one on a headset, but I also have one that can stand on the, like a recording one.
Yeah, that's what me and him are
I
using.
hated using my headset mic.
I kind of want a headset mic, but I know that it's going to be like shit quality.
I can even change it without even changing my microphone. Like, I can go all the way over here.
Oh, Jesus. You sound like you're on a fucking radio.
It's a fun time, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. I think it can even get worse. There's It can go all the way up to here.
That's bad. That one sounds like you're speaking at a fucking podium.
Yeah. There's a lot of different options.
Okay, let's move on to the meat and potatoes of the episode.
You don't like meat.
Yeah.
Everybody really came here just to talk about headsets, microphones.
Yeah, it's definitely just a tech podcast. Because I'm
Oh,
certainly
thank God.
tech savvy enough for that.
I am definitely not.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Brian, you want to talk about the price of RAM and why it's so expensive and how much I hate myself?
No, because I still barely understand RAM.
That's memory.
Shit, you right.
I am.
All right, I'm just going to go down this wiki list, and those at home can go along with us. Anyways.
No.
We'll,
That first one.
we'll go along the list and say if we know anything about it, because I don't know a lot about most of these, and some of them are kind of just weird. Like,
If it's a Yu-Gi-Oh card, I'll tell
Altamaha.
But it's from Georgia.
Yeah.
Which one?
Altamaha,
No, which Georgia?
United States.
Okay.
There's another Georgia? Where?
Yeah, in Russia.
UK? Oh, Russia. Damn. Georgian folklore says it's a legendary creature alleged to inhabit a myriad of small streams and abandoned rice fields near the mouth of the Altamaha River in southeastern Georgia. Sightings are particularly reported around the Darien and elsewhere in, I guess, McIntosh County?
The picture
Yeah.
kind of looks like a whale, though.
Or the computer.
No. It's not MAC. It's McIntosh. But I said Macintosh.
Why did you say Macintosh then?
Because if you say... Shut up.
Macintosh.
I guess it's McIntosh. It seems so stupid to say it like that.
The world may
Whatever.
never know.
The Irish have weird last names, which is why I'm glad I'm more Welsh than Irish. The Aya Napa sea monster. What the fuck? Speculated to be something like a crocodile or sea serpent. It looks like a hydra. I'll save this picture and
It's from Cyprus.
I don't even know where Cyprus is.
The organization Hydra or
No. The
Yes.
monster hydra, you fuck.
damn.
Ooh, the bear-like monster.
Wait, did you say Bear Lake Monster?
Yes, I
B-E-A-R.
did.
Oh,
It's in
is this
Idaho.
a bear in a lake?
It's like
or is
it's
it like
kind of like the bear pig man.
Bear
Alright.
Lake monster appearing in folklore near Bear Lake, obviously.
Oh.
And it has no pictures.
Nope.
It's got a
from
description, but I'm not
Idaho,
reading that.
Utah. There's Bessie,
Yep.
the Lake Erie monster,
Which
I assume would pretty much be a lot like this Lake Champlain
yeah,
origin.
also known as South Bay Bessie. First recorded sighting in 1793, apparently. It's interesting. Bow Nessie. What? Brosno Dragon. Russian folklore, also known as Brosnia. Oh, by the way, this is the aquatic monsters we're starting with. So I don't know a lot of these. Oh, except for the bunyip. I'll talk about the bunyip in a sec.
the familiar?
No, not that one. Brosnia is the name. Brosno Dragon, also known as Brosnia, is the name given to a lake monster which is said to inhabit Lake Brosno near Andreapol in West Russia. It's described as resembling a dragon and is subject of... I lost the spot. Subject of a number of regional legends, some which are said to date back to the 13th, I guess, century. It cut off. But anyways, fuck all that bullshit. Let's talk about the bunyip.
I was gonna say
This
Jake
thing
has
is
one now.
horrifying.
You get those things at like level 69 summoning, dude. Those things are so easy to get.
What do they look like in Maple Story?
They're not in Maple Story. It's
RuneScape.
RuneScape.
Oh, I'm sorry. RuneScape. Oh, wait, no, we talked about this
I
before.
posted a picture of one before.
Yeah, I put it in the fucking podcast when I was editing. And I wanted to put blush on it when you were saying it was really cute, but I was just like, wow, this is too hard to overlay this image onto this image, so fuck it.
Oof.
I could probably do that now, but I was just like, I don't want to waste more time than I have to. Because this was at the point where I was very stressed about everything.
Oh no.
Mm.
You shouldn't do that, Brian. That's bad for your health.
Yeah, it is. I've stopped doing it. The bunyip is a large mythical creature from Australia. Australian Aboriginal mythology is what it wants me to say here. Lurks in swamps,
Is that what you said?
billabongs. What is a billabong? Australian term for an oxbow lake. An isolated pond left behind after a river changes course. Billabongs are usually formed when the path of a creek or river changes, leaving the former branch with a dead end. As a result of the arid Australian climate, in which these dead rivers are, and cut off, found. Billabongs fill with water seasonally. They are dry for a greater part of the year. They're just refillable swamps, basically. But they look kind of nice. It's kind of pretty. Look it up.
No.
Yeah, I'm not talking to you. The word bunyip is usually translated by Aboriginal Australians today as devil or evil spirit. Contemporary translation may not accurately represent the role of the bunyip in pre-contact Aboriginal mythology or its possible origins before written accounts were made. I'm just spouting off bullshit. I don't understand.
You're literally just saying words,
Yeah.
and I'm not paying attention.
I'm not paying attention to me either. Can't speak.
I am. I'm listening to you.
Thank you. George French Angus may have collected a description of a bunyip in his account of a water spirit.
Oh, I
From
was
the
hoping you were saying
Burundi.
George was the next
Wait, what?
cryptid. Was
No.
George.
No, if a cryptid was named George French Angus, that'd be amazing. I can't wait to talk about the frogs. We're gonna get there in a minute. But I love those things. Its most unusual form is said to be that of an enormous starfish. That's great.
Why wasn't Bigfoot listed in the bees? Is it listed as Sasquatch on this?
No, I think that's because we're on the water section. No.
Oh, I didn't even notice that it was a water section. I was just looking at.
Yeah, there's terrestrial and aquatic.
Oh,
Terrestrial
didn't
has a
even scroll
lot more.
past.
Oh, there's winged too, and plants. There's one plant. I've never heard of it. Oh, there's two plants. Oh, I'm sorry. Both.
I don't know, but I just stopped on one called Hodag.
All right, let's hear about Hodag.
It is called the Dag. It's from Wisconsin, and it's a carnivorous mammal lizard. Wow, that picture is beautiful.
Oh, let's see it.
Yeah. Oh, we'll just pop that up there. I don't even know how to describe that.
Oh,
That's a Hodag.
he's pretty. I like him.
Yeah.
He looks like those old toys with like. Maybe that's what they were based off of. You ever have like one of those old shitty monster toys?
Like an old knockoff 60s
Yeah, something like that.
Godzilla toy. That's what a Hodag is.
And it's not on 2 feet; it's on the floors. It kind of looks furry in this fucking picture.
He should have a top hat.
I'll put a top hat on him. I'll edit
I'm sure
it
he'd
later.
appreciate it.
There's so many fucking dumb ones on
Oh,
this list.
there's okay. So for chupacabra, I don't have I never saw one, but when I was in French class, when we were learning about animals, we had to make a farm, and we had to have certain animals on it. But then we had one animal of our choice that we could put on there. So I put a chupacabra eating one of the goats that I had to put on there, and I got an F, and I was really pissed. Because she didn't say I couldn't put a chupacabra. She didn't say it had to be a real animal.
That's
she
just
just
a teacher
said-
being an asshole.
Yeah, no, she just said we had like a free card. And I think she thought people were gonna, put a whale or something. No, I put a chupacabra and I failed.
Well, what did it look like? Did it actually look like a chupacabra? Or was it just a dog?
I mean, it looked like what I perceive a chupacabra to look like, but the picture that it's showing next to it is not anything that I've ever seen a chupacabra looking like. This one looks kind of like an alien.
That's what people usually think about it with. But I watched an entire podcast on those fucks, and I'm gonna go to the wiki to make sure I don't butcher this too much.
I always thought they kind of
look like
looked
this?
kind of doggish, baddish, goatish, but with wings.
Yes, Jake, they actually look kind of like that. Or at least people
course
thought
they
they
look
looked
like
like
that.
that. Making me
Look
save
at
a
that
bunch of
tongue,
Yu-Gi-Oh card
Brian. It
pictures.
has teeth on it.
Well, that's like a lamprey more with that mouth.
It has teeth on it, Brian.
Does Yu-Gi-Oh just have a card for everything?
Sometimes.
No, but that's a new archetype that was recently released.
Jake
and
likes
it's-
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I hate it.
Then why do you still
Sucks
play it?
so bad. No, I know the archetype sucks.
Oh,
The game
okay.
sucks too, but time makes me play it.
Oh my.
Oh, there's a hairy whale called Trunko.
Okay. I'm gonna-
It's a hairy.
My
it's
favorite.
It's a whale, and it has hair on it, like long, shaggy hair, and an elephant trunk. And the picture is it eating a killer whale.
What the fuck?
I think that's no. The tail is definitely extended, but it's from South Africa. Where do they come up with these names?
Some of them are just because of the regional areas.
Trunko doesn't sound very menacing at all.
What the fuck is a sea monk?
Like a sea monkey.
No, just sea monk, monkfish, or monkfish. A sea creature found off
I
the
know
eastern coast of the
monkfish. Those
Danish
are
islands.
RuneScape.
Yeah, the fish on RuneScape.
Are they spelled Monkfish?
Yes.
Yeah.
Monkfish.
They're like, last I played, they were one of the top selling fish too.
They're always good for low level PvEing and stuff like that.
Well,
See, I
the
would
way-
just go
the
to
way
the
he
fishing
16.
guild and I would just go sharking for hours.
this is what they look like on the wiki. They look like they kind of look people-ish.
People.
That's,
Yeah, people-ish.
Weird.
Is that like a monk who's also a fish? Because this is a fish that is also a monk.
Described
it.
as a fish that looks superficially like a monk. That's it. Most recent study concluded that the animal was most likely an angel shark. I don't even know what an angel shark is. It looks like a fucking disc. Holy shit.
A disc.
It
What
looks
about
like a disc.
Do you throw it at people?
Of
What
course
about
not.
a wampus cat?
The fuck is a wampus cat? There's so many dumb names.
Ryan, I searched monkfish.
Okay.
And I started scrolling down, and this was in there.
It's that thing. The thing that's
30
basically just snot.
30 HP is not worth eating it.
Oh my god.
I'm loving these names.
Wait. The Ogopogo, or
Yeah.
Naitaka, the lake monster reported to live in Okanagan Lake in British Columbia, Canada.
Don't
Oh.
forget the Popelick monster.
The Popelick. Oh, where is that?
It's from Kentucky. There's no picture. Doesn't even say what kind it is. It's just called the Popelick monster.
Okay. Gosh, you're just flying all over the place. I'm still trying to go from the top.
Oh yeah, I'm just kind of scrolling and finding names that look silly.
That's fine. That's been entertaining so far. Buru.
Mongolian death worm.
Mongolian.
Isn't that from SpongeBob?
That's the Alaskan bullworm, and I do remember hearing Mongolian deathworm and thinking the same fucking thing.
Okay, so it's not just me.
No.
There's Momo the monster.
I'm sorry, what?
Momo the monster. It's a primate.
The
from
legendary
Missouri.
creature from Missouri mythology. Missouri? Anything legendary? Weird.
Momo.
Similar to
Yes.
Bigfoot. Reported
There's
to live in
melon
Missouri.
heads.
Oh, melon heads. I
Melonhead.
want to talk about melon heads. I watched.
Humanoids with
You wanna see
enlarged
Bigfoot, Ryan?
heads from Michigan and Ohio and Connecticut.
So melon heads. There's a story about it. People. I'm gonna.
Bigfoot.
No. No, not everything's Bigfoot or the Loch Ness monster. Thankfully.
Well, I mean,
We get
But
some
I
cool
do have a
shit.
There's the
Bigfoot
card.
story at some point for this.
Yes. Once we get to Bigfoot, we'll talk
the
about it.
card.
Oh, I missed a card. Well, what card
Well,
is
it's
it?
Bigfoot.
We'll talk about the Bigfoot card when we get to Bigfoot. Also, why is it called Danger Bigfoot?
Because it's called the danger archetype.
Because you got to be careful. He could be dangerous.
Yeah. Brian, do you see that fat 3 stacks of attack?
No, I don't. I wasn't looking at
Well,
that.
it says it right there on the card. 3,000 attack.
I can't.
Whoa.
I can't find the
Jeez.
melon
Whoa.
heads on the list.
Whoa.
Oh, there they are.
Beef.
Whoa.
Okay,
Jack Lope.
so they were
They do have a
described.
jackalope.
We'll get there in a sec.
It's pretty cute.
So, yes, melon heads.
I'll just give you the fucking.
That doesn't sound very PC.
It's kind of not actually. It was. I'll give you the too long didn't read version. Basically, what they think happened was like there was an insane asylum with a bunch of kids, and
I see where
some
this is
asshole
going.
was doing some weird experiments, and it made their heads fucking huge because of osmosis, I think, or some shit. But they got out, and people freaked the fuck out, and that's how the legend was born.
So there's a, well, I don't like the term insane asylum, but for lack of better terms, there was one down in New York City, and it was the biggest home for the mentally ill at the time, and they would actually shoot stuff into their tongues to make their tongues enlarge so they couldn't scream.
That's horrible.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised by that melon head.
Yeah. Well, how long ago was that, do you know?
This was the 60s.
Yes, that would make sense.
These,
Insane
there's
asylums
people-
weren't shut down until a couple years ago, I think.
Yeah, the people that were from, it's called Willowbrook. And for those that in the podcast that are listening that don't know, I actually take care of mentally disabled people for a living. And our elder population, this is the first time the United States has really had an elderly mentally disabled population, because before they were sent to places like Willowbrook, or they were put down as children, all these horrible things. But a lot of the older population we have, especially in New York, since I'm about 8 to 10 hours away from New York City, upstate, a lot of the people are from Willowbrook. And my grandmother and I took care of somebody that was from Willowbrook that did have the enlarged tongue from those experiments. So, like, this stuff is, like, it's real. Like, these people are real. This stuff happened, and these people are still around. So, just a reminder that be nice to people. If you see somebody with, just be nice.
I
Be
give
humans.
everyone the same treatment they deserve, which is I try to ignore them.
Yeah, that works.
Well, that's also because I'm really socially awkward. Which is helpful that we do this podcast over a microphone, because I don't have to look anyone in the face.
Yay.
Yeah.
Now that I've killed the mood.
That's okay.
Yeah,
No, that's
Brian
an
does that on a
important...
daily basis.
But it's important to know, because I don't think a lot of people know that, and especially since Melonhead sounds like that's exactly what that was.
I couldn't find the exact year when they were shut down, but it looks like it was sometime in the 60s.
Yeah, most of those were shut down in the 60s and 70s because of Willowbrook. Willowbrook is kind of one of the ones that set everything else in motion.
What was that? Or did you
That
just
was-
talk about it? And
Yeah,
I, blanked
Willowbrook
it?
was the place I was just talking about.
Okay,
That was the name of the place.
Sorry, I blanked it out real hard. Chessie. What is this picture?
Yes.
What is this fucking picture?
What isn't that picture?
Look at this.
I can't.
Look at this bullshit.
That just looks like someone in a dragon
That's-
costume.
I
That's
know.
it?
That's the picture they gave.
Hey, wait, Brian.
I like the sequence.
Is it the dragon from My Little Pony? The weird costume one that they made up.
Yeah, doesn't that kind of look like
Whimsical
Discord?
costume of Chessie the Chesapeake Bay monster at the 4th annual Maryland Fairy
It's just
Festival.
Discord.
What?
I don't know what I don't remember the name of it, but it was that weird dragon costume.
Oh, the one they thought was Crackle's cousin.
Yes, Crackles. Yes, that thing.
Yeah, Crackle. I'll put a picture up of Crackle. There he is.
Yes.
I love him. Here, Miranda, you need to see the majesty of Crackle.
Second to
I've
Tom
never
the
heard of. Oh,
Rock. He is second to Tom the Rock.
He's the best.
Right next to Tom the Rock, Brian.
I'm gonna put the video from the episode in because I love it so much. Because he makes the best noise.
is that actually from My Little Pony?
Yeah.
Yes, that is a dragon that they are like they dressed up as that as well.
Yes.
Like they had a costume that looked just like that.
Nice.
It's a little hard to find for some reason. There we go.
Yes.
Now, see, if that was the show, I may be more enticed.
There you go. Watch that. You just need to hear his noise.
Oh,
He's just a funny little dragon.
He's not little.
Well, a funny big dragon.
He has like 8 legs.
He has 4. Okay, yeah, he has 8. Never mind. Holy shit! I didn't even notice for all these years. That episode has been out for like, what, 4 years?
Probably.
Oh, maybe 5 even. I started a little late.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's basically the Crackle costume. Is that monster?
yeah, that's really not that far off.
Wow, it's got a lot of fucking information, and it's got a little cartoon book. I'm not gonna put that
Oh,
up because
boy.
I don't care enough.
There's the black shuck.
Black Shuck. All right, let's hear about the Black Shuck.
It's just a black dog ghost from England.
Huh. Okay. I heard about I was watching a last podcast episode yesterday to like
Yeah.
read up on or listen up on some of them, and there was one called Spring Heel Jack, which could just be a bunch of assholes in coats and shit, just slapping people. But what Spring Heel Jack did was like maybe over 100 years ago or something, maybe in the 1700s. I don't know. It started a long time ago.
In days of old.
Yes, but it's an England-specific one. But he does have cases of being found in like northeast U.S., which I thought was weird. I might be wrong, but whatever. What Spring Heel Jack would do is, if you were a woman, he would come up, fondle you, slap you, and then just bounce away. And what I mean by bounce is he would literally like scale giant walls and shit, like 9-foot high walls.
So like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. But there were like so many reported cases of it. It's kind of hilarious how many there were.
My mom said that's the last thing my father did before he left us.
I'm sorry, that was just funny to me.
After I was birthed next to the drug tree.
I guess we know where Spring Heel Jack was for a couple years.
Upstate New York.
Let's see. Dingon Neck is a scaly saber-toothed creature. There's no picture. It's apparently it's scaly like a pangolian, covered in spots like a leopard with a long tail ending in a fin.
Yes.
Hey, I call bullshit on this one.
What?
The eastern cougar. It's just a big cougar.
What? Let me look at this.
It's just a cougar that's slightly bigger than average. That's
dumb.
That's reaching.
I think it's because there was
It's extinct.
oh,
It was actually like
it's probably one of those cases where they thought it was a monster, but eventually found out it was a real creature. And it's still on this list because there are mythologies of it being a monster.
maybe that's just
I mean, that happens. That could happen with Bigfoot someday. We don't know.
Or maybe it won't.
Or maybe it won't.
oh, there's a ghost deer.
I'm sorry, what?
The ghost deer. Large deer supposedly impervious to bullets.
There you go.
Oh, man. Weird. A ghost impervious to bullets? How would
I
that
have a
be?
perfect picture for that.
I'll put that picture up. It's deserving of it.
There's no picture. It's a ghost.
No, the picture I posted.
Yeah, I'll put
when
in the
you
one
said
Jake
that.
put up. It actually kind of relates to the channel.
Oh, here, wait, Brian. If you want to relate to the channel,
Okay, let's see it.
Here you go.
I can't put that up. This is also basically jailbait.
Yeah,
You want
but
us to
that's
go to
basically-
prison? Fucking monster. Who's that one on the far right? I've never seen her before.
It's Jarvis, Libeccio, Mistrale, and then Chinyu. Chinyu is previously named Scharnhorst. She was a old German ship.
Oh, hey, that's Spaghetti Loli.
Both of the spaghetti lollies.
I know the one.
Are the spaghetti ones the brown ones?
Yes.
Okay, good to know.
Because that's one of the only
I
ones
don't want to
actually
sound
like.
racist, but they are Italian brown, okay?
Yeah, they have tans. Shirtsu gets a tan line in her fall outfit because in her summer outfit she's wearing a swimsuit,
Fuck.
and if she's out too long, she gets tanned.
If I don't cut this out, I have to put this picture up and censor it. Otherwise, I sound like a racist prick. You did this to me, Jake. You did this to me. Here's the picture.
Or you could just post a different one.
No, I can't. It's got all four of them, and you talked about all of them, and you did this to me. I have to put porn up again.
Look the brown.
Please don't. The art on this one is fucked.
I know, but it looks so funny because she just look at her face.
What the fuck?
She looks so happy.
The one on the back looks like a fucking monster.
She's my favorite.
She's a cryptid.
If I had to actually had to pick a boat girl, it would be Redhead Spaghetti Loli.
Pasta
Mine would-
boats are best boats.
My favorite would either be Akashi or Hamikaze.
Yeah, nobody cares, Brian. I know about your fetishes. And
Fuck you.
Mirakuma's more. Mirakuma does the same thing, but she's actually important because she does damage.
Wow, rude.
Yeah.
Akashi
Hey,
is cute.
so there's the manatee of Helena.
Manatee of
Ooh,
Helena.
oh wait, is it a big manatee?
Manatee, yes,
Ooh.
known as a
That's-
sea cow.
Yes, the sea cow. Cardborosaurus, nicknamed Caddy.
The modern megalodon, opposed to the prehistoric megalodon. Is there a current megalodon that I'm not aware of?
We don't know. People think there might be megalodons in the world, but
Oh,
we
that
can't
would make
prove
sense.
it because we
That
can't
would
go
make
down
sense for the
deep enough.
modern, then.
Yeah,
I would believe it.
I believe it.
I wouldn't be opposed to believing one.
We have a fucking breed of fish that lives for 300 years. And I think it's
Really?
Well, they
There's a bunch of
evolved. They're better than us.
A mermaid is listed on. Oh, I guess that would make sense. I guess I don't really think of a mermaid as a cryptid. I think more like that, like as a fairy type,
siren.
fairy tale.
also. Did you know anglerfish were fucking huge?
Yes.
Yeah, they also heal 2300 HP.
God damn it, Jake.
Boom.
I can't find the age.
Snallygaster.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the Snallygaster. That one has a fun name.
A dragon-like beast, the earliest incarnations of mixed half-bird features with the siren. Yeah, wait. With features of a siren with the nightmarish features of a demon and ghoul. The Snallygaster was described as a half-reptile, half-bird with metallic-like beak lined with razor-sharp teeth, occasionally with octopus-like tentacles. It just sounds like they couldn't make up their minds as to what they wanted it to be, so they're like, let's just throw in a little bit of everything and hopefully
I have
somebody can.
all of these weird parts left over.
Yeah,
I just put them all into one thing.
Like a platypus.
Platypi.
except they're poisonous.
Okay, here's an interesting one. The Dobar Chew, or King Otter, is a creature of Irish folklore. And looking at this picture, I'll put it up.
Is that a big otter?
It's just a big otter.
Is it big McLarge huge?
I'm pretty sure the Irish just went, "What the fuck is that thing?" And it was just a big ass otter that was somehow on their fucking island. Oh, Ireland. You bunch of crazy motherfuckers. I love Ireland.
Man eating trees. Oh, that's that one plant.
Flying rod.
Yes.
In cryptozoology and ufology. Or ufology. Whatever you want to call it. Also known as skyfish,
called
air
nowadays.
rods, or solar entities. Elongated visual
Skybush
artifacts.
Threepwood.
Video recordings that are claimed by some proponents to be alien life forms, extra-dimensional creatures, or very small UFOs. Oh, they're passing it off as just fucking outdoor photography, optical illusions due to motion blur, interlaced video recording that are typically after images traces of flying insects and their wing beats. So it's just bugs
Yes.
trolling people.
Buggos.
Crap, I closed my tab.
Oh, now we won't know anything anymore.
Nope.
Better change topics.
Yep.
Well, let me talk about Champy real quick.
All right, go
My
for
husband already gave an excerpt of how, but Champy is like this Loch Ness monster type
Mhm.
looking creature from, I don't know, say 2 hours from here, give or take. Yeah, about 2 hours. You go over this bridge to go to Vermont, and that's where it is. Supposedly.
it. Sorry, I had to burp away from the mic.
Oh, wow. You're actually taking that into consideration finally?
Listen, the times when I burped into the mic was when I was in the middle of talking, usually. Because, my stomach doesn't want to fucking be accommodating to me. It's just incoming missile. There's a fucking sea
It doesn't
creature
sound like
named
it's my
Gambo.
problem.
Oh no, Gambo is the
Damn
name
seal.
given to a carcass of an unidentified large marine animal that was reportedly washed up on Bungalow Beach in the Gambia.
Grognak the Destroyer.
Grognak the Barbarian.
Oh, there's that giant
Come on, Brian,
anaconda
laugh at
again.
my joke.
I'm sorry.
Brian, I'd expect you to understand that one.
Well, here, Jake.
There's
Here's-
stellar sea ape.
A sea
Go
ape.
on.
It's, but I like that it's not just any sea ape, it's stellars. Like
I
it
know.
belongs to stellar. It's an unconfirmed marine animal described from a single sighting by an explorer, Stellar, in 1741 in Alaska. It just says sea animal.
Did we talk about Globster?
No, but now I'm intrigued.
Is it a blob? That is a lobster.
No, but it is a blob.
Ooh.
Unidentified organic mass that washes up on the shoreline of an ocean or other body of water. Globster is
Goop.
distinguished from a normal beach carcass by being hard to identify, at least by initial untrained observers, and by creating controversy as to its identity. The picture looks kind of like a fucking beached elephant. How do you beach an elephant? You tell me.
Yes.
Well, that's how you beach an elephant. Look at it. See?
Oh. Yeah, it does.
Well, we figured out what a globster is. It's just beached elephants.
It's Saya.
Some of these aren't very interesting. Honey Island swamp monster. There's no picture and there's not much to this. Said to have been seen in Honey Island swamp since 1963. Sure it's not just some guy taking a swim
Yeah.
in a swamp?
100%. It is not.
Well, you heard it here first. Jake proved that the Honey Island swamp monster exists. Oh, there's an
Yep.
ego pogo too. Also
An
in
ego
Canada.
boost.
The Beast of Dean. It's a moose pig. From England.
Moose pig.
Yes.
Can I see a picture of this?
There's your moose pig.
It's just a boar.
No.
It's just a
No.
boar.
No, Brian. It's a moose pig.
Jesus Christ. All right, we'll
It's
talk
the
about.
Beast of Dean. Are you saying England is wrong about their moose pig?
Yeah.
I'm saying England's wrong about a lot
Just
of
like,
shit.
are you saying that England is also wrong about their lion pig, the Beast of Dortmore?
Remember when they thought Brexit wasn't going to pass?
Wow, topical, Jake.
Remember when people were like, I'll vote yes, it won't pass?
How are people that stupid?
I don't know.
Beast of Bray Road is a werewolf.
There aren't that many werewolves out there. They're like,
Yeah,
not-
I think we debunked werewolves a while ago. So I think
Yeah,
there's not
Brian.
a lot of sightings of them anymore.
maybe. Jake, stop sending lollies again.
It's
Speaking of werewolf, this is a
Come
good
on, Brian.
segment for
look at the Tom.
Bigfoot
Yeah, let's talk
and
about Bigfoot.
Sasquatch.
I posted a picture of that a while ago above all of my lollies.
Danger.
Danger, Bigfoot.
Yeah, so I'll put
And
this
there's
picture
only
up right now.
exclamation points with those ones because it's
Yeah.
dangerous.
It has 0 defense. It's garbage.
Yeah, but it has 3,000 attack. It can freely summon itself from your hand for literally nothing.
Nah, Jackalope's better.
It also summons itself, basically.
All right, let's talk about Bigfoot. I don't know a whole lot about this motherfucker because I don't really care for the Bigfoot legends. All I know is there's too many shows about them looking for nothing.
And Harry and the Hendersons.
What the hell is that?
Oh, you're making my age show again. It was a
Wait,
movie
wait.
about Bigfoot.
I remember that now. My mom really loved that movie.
Of course she did. It's a classic.
You're just making her
Only
feel even
communists
older.
don't like it.
Yeah, Brian, are you a communist or something?
No, I'm just saying I haven't
Do you
watched
not get
it.
refills in your drank?
Of course I get refills. I'm an American.
No, you need to embrace your capitalism.
I embrace it as much as I can until I get pissed off that I can't pay for things.
Then you share it.
That sounds like communist talk to me, Brian.
Wait, I also live in an apartment with 3 other people.
Which you share.
Yes.
Communist.
No. Don't call the capitalist police on me, please.
We can get Liberty Prime down here.
No. Liberty Prime does not need to be here.
Teach you some capitalism.
You said you have a Bigfoot story, right?
I do. Oh, so back when I was living at home, 2009, 2010, back the way that my grandmother's house is, we don't live near people. It's just kind of her house in the woods, and then right next to us is like state property where people could go back there and hunt and la la da. So for like a week, there was a bunch of black bunch of black cars going down there. We didn't
Black
really think too
SUVs.
much of it. Just kind of thought it was weird, but like it wasn't too out of the ordinary. And then one day I got a knock on my door, and it was from these 2 people. They weren't they were dressed in camo and stuff. So I thought maybe they were hunters that got lost. And they were just letting me know that they were Bigfoot hunters from somewhere in the South. They were Bigfoot hunters from the South, and that they actually had Bigfoot sightings in my area, and that was their cars. They had like a tow of like 7 cars. And they were just going back there looking for Bigfoot every day for like a month. And they just wanted to let us know in case they wandered onto our property. And I was like, okay, like,
I guess.
okay, whatever. So we also have this thing, like a local website called Messina Topics, where like people can go on there and like, it's usually just for trash stuff like, hey, who's the hoe with this back tattoo? You know? But I like to go on it at the time just to see who was on there. And some fuck from the same town as me was posting about a Bigfoot sighting. So this went on locally for like in my little town for like 2 months, where like people kept saying they heard Bigfoot and saw Bigfoot. So like I had those cars, they were there, they kept going into that little area for a while, and then you'd see them on another part of the other town. They stayed around for a couple months, and then they were gone, and you never heard anything about it again. I've never heard of another Bigfoot sighting. Never heard of anybody talking about it since.
I mean, that's how Bigfoot sightings are in general. It's kind of just like people say he's nearby, but he's not. I'm pretty sure most of them are in the Oregon area.
That's why it was weird for here.
Well, think about Bigfoot.
I mean, we
as
do
like,
have the Adirondacks, but
people think it might just be like one giant family of weirdo monsters just all around the fucking North American area. But like at that point, why the fuck could we have not have found one by now?
I just thought it was cool that I had professional Bigfoot hunters at my door. Like, hey, we're looking for Bigfoot. And at the time, I used to have to go outside and smoke in my car at night. So like for that little stunt, I was kind of like, I parked a little bit closer to the house just 'cause, like, you know, paranoid stoner.
Most people think it's just a fucking bear with mange.
I don't believe in Bigfoot. I feel
Yeah,
that
that
one's a little
one's-
bit too. I think somebody saw like a hobo or something at some point, and like
Covered in
that's
dirt.
kind of how it started.
He just the hobo that rolls in the mud all day. Yeah, that's old
No,
muddy.
but seriously, like it was probably somebody homeless or somebody that was hunting, you know. But I'm
No, I
assuming
getcha.
homeless and, you know, mangy, and that, you know, started a rumor. But they say it's been around for like ever. I saw an Ancient Aliens on it. Funny enough.
All right, what about the Kraken? Because there's a thing for the Kraken, and I'm actually very
Really?
interested to read this. Yeah,
I thought that was just a story thing. I didn't know that was
Well,
actually like.
technically it's still cryptozoology. Legendary cephalopod-like sea monster of giant size said to dwell at the coasts of Norway and Greenland. Authors over the years have postulated that the legend originated from sightings of giant squids that may grow to 13 to 15 meters, or 40 to
I
50
believe
feet
that.
high.
I believe it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, giant
I
squids
don't
exist.
maybe believe them taking down ships, but I believe that it was possible that something like that could have existed and somebody saw it. Oversized animals and like marine animals, especially like that, that's totally believable to me.
I think someone might have saw it, spread the rumor around, and then everyone was just like, Well, if it's huge and has a bunch of tentacles, it could fucking
take
kill
down
us.
a ship. Yeah. But
Also called
I could
crabfish.
totally see that happening. Like being a thing.
Yeah. It's one of the more believable ones, but only in the
Yeah.
sense of like the creature might exist.
Just like even Loch Ness Monster to an extent, I don't think it's around now, but I think at some point it could have been like a big fish or a big eel or something.
Something
Maybe.
And
big in the
people,
water.
you know, especially back then, people over exaggerate. And then you play the telephone game, especially when you didn't have the internet.
Yeah, that
People
sort of shit
play,
wouldn't
you know,
happen most
word of
times
mouth.
nowadays.
So what about the Mothman? Because I know that's one of
Okay,
the more predominant.
I want to save the
Yes.
Mothman for last because I know a lot about it.
Okay.
Instead,
Okay. Then we need to bring up the Bat Squatch at some point.
okay, actually, we'll talk about the Bat Squatch now, and then we'll talk about the Loveland Frog after.
Okay.
So
I was
please
just
tell
gonna
me
say
about
that
the
one
Bat
next.
Squatch.
Okay, Bat Squatch is a frying. Oh my god, I cannot.
Man.
I cannot get
Frying
words
pan monster.
from reading to my mouth out. Words are just not outing today.
That's
How
fine.
do
Bat
Words work.
Squatch is a flying cryptid that was allegedly sighted near Mount St. Helens in the 1980s. Oh, so okay, so this is a kind of a recent one, which is
There's a good
nice.
couple of those.
It resembles a flying
Words.
You got this.
It resembles a flying primate, similar to the ahul, whatever that is, in the orang body of southeastern Asia. But basically, it just looks like a werewolf with wings. Like, that's the best way to describe it. It has, like, gargoyle wings in a six-pack.
The picture kind of reminds me of the monster that they have in the new Fallout 76 game.
It has a six-pack, and it's shaved, and it has nipples.
Yes, I have the picture right here. It's fucking
So
weird.
there's sightings as recent as 2014 with this.
Holy fucking shit. That's awesome.
Somebody in Ohio spotted it in April 14th, 2014. They spotted a giant black mass zip by the window of the classroom at an incredible speed. This class claims that it was 9 feet tall with a 20 to 30 foot wingspan. The whole class saw this, apparently, in high
Awesome.
school. There's also a 2011 sighting, 2009, 94. So there's been a fairly good amount
A
of
few.
recent sightings. But a lot of these I feel like they're long time stories, so it's kind of nice to see something recent, even if it
Yeah, it's
is
nice to see developments.
ridiculous.
Okay. Let's talk about one of my favorite cryptids of all, the Loveland Frog, which has more sightings than I thought, because I thought it was just like one time in the 50s.
I'd never heard of this until I found that picture that I shared a bit ago of that really like bad CGI frog.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's just a frog on two legs.
But it's like CGI and they just like they just stretch the skin material to make legs.
Basically. In Ohio folklore, the Loveland Frog could also be known as the Loveland Lizard, legendary humanoid frog described as standing roughly 4 feet tall, 1.2 meters, allegedly spotted in Loveland, Ohio. According to legend, a local man reported seeing 3 frog-like men at the side of the road in 1955. In 1972, the Loveland Frog, a legend, gained renewed attention when Loveland police officers sighted and killed an animal that they later identified as a large iguana that was missing its tail.
The latest sighting was 2016, according to the one I'm looking at.
Yes. In May 2014, the Loveland Frog legend was made into a musical titled Hot Damn, It's the
Oh.
Loveland Frog. Holy fuck, it's awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
All right. Now we're going to I'm going to read all of this Wikipedia article because I love the Loveland Frog so much.
Oh
Because,
my
like,
God,
frogs are my favorite animals, or at least one of them. According to various legends, the creature was sighted... Shush. The creature was first sighted in 1955, with some versions of the story specifying the month of May. There are 3 different versions of that story that only differ slightly from each other. The 3 stories start the same way, with a businessman or a traveling salesman driving along an unnamed road late at night. Stories start to diverge at this point. In one story, the driver was heading out of the Branch Hill neighborhood when he spotted 3 figures stood erect on their hind legs along the side of the road, each 3 to 4 feet tall in height, with leathery skin and frog faces. In the other 2 versions of the story, the creatures were spotted under or over a poorly lit bridge. There are a number of bridges in Loveland going over the Little Miami River, apparently. The story tells of the businessman watching the figures converse for a while until one of the creatures held a wand over its head and fired a spray of sparks, startling the observer into fleeing the scene.
Jesus.
Now, this is the best part. This is the police side of it. On the 3rd of March.
It has to be real. He had a wand.
Yes, it's gotta be. I believe it.
Missile.
The frog fires magic missile. Hits for 1 damage.
Effective. He rolls d20.
Crit.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's pretty great. A fucking wand? What are they? Fucking little magicians?
That just threw me off so bad.
Just imagine a fucking frog wearing Mickey Mouse's wizard outfit.
And yelling magic
It goes
missile.
perfect
Yes.
with the picture I just sent to.
Oh, let's
Of
see
it.
it.
It's an artist rendition of it.
Oh my god, it just looks like a giant gecko.
Magic missile.
Magic missile.
Alright, let's talk about the police. I remember this being great.
My stomach hurts from laughing. That was awesome.
On the 3rd of March, 1972 at 1 a.m., Loveland Police Officer Ray Shockey was driving on a Riverside Drive near the Totes Boot Factory and the Little Miami River when an unidentified animal scurried across the road and in front of his vehicle. The animal was fully illuminated in his vehicle's headlights, and he described it as a 3 to 4 feet long and about 50 to 75 pounds with leathery skin. He reported spotting the animal crouched like a frog before it momentarily stood erect to climb over the guardrail and back down towards the river. 2 weeks after the incident, a second Loveland police officer, Mark Matthews, reported seeing an unidentified animal crouched along the road in the same vicinity as Shockey's sighting. Matthews shot the animal, recovered the body, and put it in his trunk to show Officer Shockey. According to Matthews, it was a large iguana, about 3 or 3.5 feet long, and he didn't immediately recognize it because it was missing its tail. Matthews speculated the iguana had been someone's pet that either got loose or was released when it grew too large. According to Matthews, Shockey was shown the dead iguana and confirmed it was the animal he had seen 2 weeks previously. Matthews recounted the incident to an author of a book about urban legends, but says the author omitted the part that confirmed the creature was an iguana rather than a frogman. And it looks like in popular culture, it was the 2016 part was that the local Cincinnati TV station reported that a night of fun turned into a chilling tale of horror when 2 teenagers playing Pokemon Go between Loveland,
Pokemon Go.
between Madeira Road and Lake Isabella, claimed to see a giant frog near the lake on August 3rd that stood up and walked on its hind legs.
Did they try to catch it?
I fucking hope so.
Oh, you have to see the one I just sent on Discord.
Bloop. Bloop.
One
That's the
singular
name.
bloop.
Bloop.
It's just a bloop. I like the bloop. And it just looks like another giant whale. In
It's
fact,
just a
it's
stupid looking
next
whale.
to a... Yeah, it's next to a blue whale, but it's like 4 times the size, and it has like a little wiener nose.
Yeah, like a Crash Bandicoot nose.
Yes.
Jake, that picture's kind of fitting.
I know. That's why I posted it.
The bloop. There's also alien big cats. I'm looking at a different list that actually has pictures. There's the sheep squatch,
Sheep.
which the
Sheep
picture
squatch?
for that one is beautiful.
All right.
We'll toss that up. And
Fuck, it looks so
the
stupid.
most promising one to me, the mantis man, which has a beautiful nose.
Oh, it's so stupid. It's just a big mantis with buff arms.
Is that Trogdor?
The mantis version of Trogdor.
It does. It has like a beautiful man body.
Gonna add those beefy arms.
It has wrists and elbows. If you zoom in, it has wrists
Oh, that's so stupid.
and elbows. Oh.
This is great.
Oh. We need to do these more often. I like this.
Well, if we do this, we'd have to skip a few monsters and save it for another time. Do you want to save
Oh, yeah.
reptilians for another episode?
Yes.
Okay, we'll wait on reptilians. This picture is wondrous, though. I'll give this as a little sneak peek to reptilians for some time down the line.
Yep.
Ooh. I don't know, man. My mantis man is pretty
Your mantis man is
Was that
better.
only
he's pretty buff.
was that a guy on
The
the
fact that it has
side?
wrists kills me.
This is just a bad Photoshop. It's really what this is.
You know that, like in Undertale, the Photoshop picture of Papyrus eating spaghetti and like flexing his muscles in the mirror with like the sunglasses.
Do you mean the one they use for his Steam card?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's his praying mantis picture. Like, that's the equivalent of it. It's a 7-foot tall bug-like creature that has been reported in Hackensack, New Jersey. Well, there's the problem. He's from Jersey.
I think we'll save Japanese monsters for another time. I can't
Oh
for the
my
life
God.
of me remember the name they use for them. Yokai. They call them yokai. That's it. We'll save yokai for a separate episode.
The drone?
No. No, Jake. Not the fucking drone from Siege. Fuck.
Sieg.
One of my goddamn followers on Twitch, his name is Sigata, and I say Siege as Sieg now because of him. This was his plan all along. He wants to make me look even more like a fool. I hope he I'm gonna tell him to watch this one just so he can fucking timestamp this one and say got him.
I found one. It's called the wood booger.
I just
The
now
wood
saw this
booger.
other fucking mantis picture, and Jesus, it's awful.
The wood booger is a type of Bigfoot or hairy humanoid that lives in the mid-Appalachian Mountains.
Oh,
the
so
name
near
wood
me.
booger was given to the creature because it was often rumored to carry away, booger? It's because it's rumored to carry off young children like the boogeyman.
He pronounced it right. It's wood booger. It would not be booger because you don't say boogie, man. You say boogie. Or at least,
You might not.
well, I don't. But I also say orange is orange instead of orange. So that's it's
Orange.
just dialect.
Well, it's from the
Orange.
south, so I mean,
Yeah. So
What
they
about
would say
Gerp?
bogeyman or boger.
What about instead of saying grave, you say GURP?
Why would someone say GURP?
oh, I found another one for the hodag,
Hang on, Jake. That's like saying raisins are optional. You know
Yeah,
it's
they are.
not.
but they are.
But they're not.
They are.
But they're not.
I know where you live. I will slit you.
Yeah, you know where I live. I bring you over.
Yeah, I also know where you lived before you brought me over.
Well, not when I moved.
Yeah, because you told me where you lived.
Oh shit! Wait, you're right.
will
There's
slit
one
you.
that's a picture of a corgi, and I'm kind of
Wait,
confused.
I got this. Wait,
What the fuck?
corgi.
Jake's got a nice corgi there. And the T. Kettler is a quote-unquote fearsome critter. I did air quotes for some reason. From North American Lumberjack Tales.
It resembles a small, stubby-legged dog. Even the other pictures are corgis. Oh, there's one with
It
with
just
smoke coming out
spits
of its mouth.
steam. It's
So
just a
it's
corgi
like-
that spits steam. They're just little dog dragons now. But they lost their fire ability and only have steam now.
It's Snoop Dogg's corgi.
Oof.
Only few lumberjacks have seen one, as they are very shy. But if a boiling kettle is heard and nowhere to be found, it's sure to be one. Okay.
I finally made it to the terrestrial area because I skipped over a bunch of shitty ones.
I'm on this Cryptids Wikipedia website right now.
Yeah, you've been sending a lot of links to it. That corgi one's pretty fucking great.
Because they actually have pictures, so I'm just like the Yukon beaver eater.
How horrible. The Fiskerton Phantom. There's
I
nothing
like
on
the
it.
names.
Yes, these names are pretty great. Grassman. That's another Bigfoot type. Hellhound. Now, I want to talk about the Hellhound a little bit.
The monster from RuneScape.
I wasn't aware that was a cryptid. Again, I thought
Me
that
either.
was just kind of like.
I thought it was just a fucking Japanese monster real thing. That just
Oh
kinda
no,
happened.
I think of Heroes of Might and Magic.
I don't know what that is.
It's a game series
Well.
for PC, like tactical.
I remember hearing about it, but I never played it.
Oh, it's one of my favorites. But you can have hellhounds.
Whales. Why would you fucking make these names? So there's one that's called the Kuan Anun, and it's spelled Cwnannwn. Fucking Welsh.
What?
Yeah. They have such weird spelling. They're apparently spectral hounds of Anun, but this is more folklore than cryptid stuff. But it's related to the Hellhound, apparently.
I really like all the pictures of the Hodag that I keep finding. It kind of looks
weirdo.
like a knockoff Anguirus.
It's an Anguirus.
Anguirus is a kaiju from Godzilla.
Okay. It just kind of looks like a weird fucking Cerberus. Or at least in these pictures it does.
I found the Bugbear, which is a bear with an owl face.
That's a real thing? I always thought it was just
okay,
something
so
from...
you guys have heard of the Loch Ness Monster?
Yeah.
Have you heard of the Rock Ness Monster?
If it's a picture of the Rock, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
It's not, but I wish it was. Oh, it's the Globster.
So it was just a dead thing that they couldn't figure out.
Yeah, the
Probably
Rock
just
Ness
an eel.
Monster is a nickname given to the Globster. But I like where Jake was going with it.
I would have liked to see that. I just want to see the Rock as a monster.
Oh, I mean, you could look at deviant art, but I wouldn't suggest it.
Why would I go with a DeviantArt to look up pictures of the Rock? That just sounds like trouble.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, why would you go there for the Rock when you could go there for Sonic, Brian?
I could, but I really won't because that's a trash fire waiting to happen.
Pokemon is listed in this.
Really?
Yes,
page
the real life
22.
Pokemon.
What's the article say? What
It's
the
a media
fuck?
franchise. A media franchise owned by the Pokemon Company, which is run by Game Freak Company. It's just talking about licensing.
Many Pokemon were actually inspired by Japanese mythology / cryptozoology. Two classic examples of Pokemon inspired by Japanese mythology or cryptozoology include
Execute.
Dunsparce, a Pokemon based on the Tsuchinoko, which we'll talk about in the Japanese cryptids episode, also known as fucking... forgot the word again.
Yokai.
Yokai, thank you.
The drone.
And Executor based on Jinmenju.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah, I didn't know that one either. I assumed a lot more. Like, oh yeah, Lapras. There's a bunch. Oh, there's a whole list.
I didn't know Executor was based off anything.
Abomasnow.
It just seemed like such a random one.
Yeah, but that one's Japanese, so we probably wouldn't get much about it. Okay, so there's the Yeti for Abomasnow. Charizard's a dragon. Lapras would be the Loch Ness.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Mawile is based on the Futakuchi Onna. I've never heard of that. Must be another Japanese
Yep.
one. Moltres is the Phoenix. Rapidash, Unicorn. Zapdos, Thunderbird. Some of these are pretty obvious, but still. Sableye, which is based off the Hopkinsville Goblins. That sounds really funny. Oh my god, they look just like Sableye.
Oh my god.
Hobgoblins.
It's the name given to a series of connected incidents of alleged close encounters with supposed extraterrestrial beings. The setting supposedly inspired the movie E.T. and the Pokemon Sableye, and possibly the denizens from Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Zombies.
Oh.
What were the denizens from Black Ops 2 Zombies? I don't think I ever got to that. They don't have a link, so I'm not gonna
Don't
look it up.
forget about the Oklahoma octopus.
The octopi.
The Oklahoma octopus.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna get to the rest of these. Torterra, based on the Zaratan. Ho is another phoenix. Golurk, based on the Golem of Prague. Kyogre, based on the Leviathan. Groudon, based on Behemoth. Rayquaza, based on Quetzalcoatl, which Quetzalcoatl is really interesting. But that one's more like folklore mythology.
But what about that Delta Stream, though?
While it's a good ability, I don't think Quetzalcoatl had it.
Damn.
Whiscash was based on Namazu. Elgem, based on Gray Aliens. I've never seen that one. Beheum, based on more aliens. Shiftry, based on the Tengu. That one's pretty obvious. Vaporeon, based on Dobar Chu.
Flareon?
I think we talked about that one earlier. No, not Flareon, Vaporeon. Noivern, based on Wyverns. That one's also... Some of these are just...
Oh, really? Really? Noivern? Wow.
It couldn't be a Wyvern. Jangmo-O, based off of the Hawaiian Mo-O. Apparently a mythical giant lizard. Jake, you'd know about Jangmo-O.
Would I?
You're playing the fucking game right now, aren't you?
I mean, I beat the Elite Four.
Well, what was that creature?
What creature?
Jangmo-O.
I literally don't know what you're talking about.
Motherfucker. Hakamo-O, also based off the same one as the last one. Komo-O, same one. Wartortle, based on the Mino game. Or Minogame, I would assume. I don't know. Charmander, based off of Salamander. Same with Charmeleon. Ninetales, based on the Kitsune. Growlithe, based on the Fu Lion Dog. Which I think those are those things they have outside of Japanese shrines with like they have one arm up and shit. Arcanine,
Yes.
based off the same thing. Drowsy, based off of the Baku, which is another Japanese one that's fucking scary. Houndoom, based off of the Hellhound.
Ooh.
And Lombre, based off of the Kappa. Which a lot of these are very like... These are ones that we've learned about mostly because of Japanese culture. Except for the Hawaiian ones, which if you didn't play the Sun and Moon games, you wouldn't know much about them. I didn't.
Nope. But I haven't played anything since Blue, so.
Did we talk about the Jackalope? I feel like you guys said something about it before.
We brought it
A
up.
picture of it.
Yeah, you showed a picture of it to me.
Yeah, it's a little rabbit with antlers. A green rabbit with antlers.
Is it green?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
green.
supposed to be green, or is just the Yu-Gi-Oh one green?
I think just the
I don't know,
Yu-Gi-Oh
that
one.
That one's green. It has solid blue eyes and antlers.
Pretty sure the story of it is basically it's just some guy fucking selling their head.
Taxidermy.
Yeah, shit like that.
He bred a rabbit, taped some antler ears to it, and then threw it in the wild. The wild.
As cool
You
as
have
I
to
think it
see-
would be, I don't think they're real.
You have to see the one I just tagged.
The giant space brains of Palos Verdes. What the fuck is this?
Thanks, Internet.
The bizarre case involves the abduction of a young man by a pair of large blue brain-shaped beasts, which he and a friend claimed were blocking the desolate stretch of road in front of his car. In the dead of night on August 17th, 1971, a pair of Palos Verdes natives, Peter Rodriguez and John Hodges, both of whom were in their late 20s, claimed to have come across two ostensibly alien creatures that were quite unlike anything else recorded in the annals of ufology or cryptozoology. According to their account, at approximately 2 a.m., the duo left the home of a mutual friend who lived somewhere nearby, and they climbed into their car. They started the engine, flicked on the headlights, were about to drive off when the men simultaneously noticed a pair of what can only be described as huge disembodied brains lying about 6
I like
feet.
the second picture.
Yes, the second picture's fucking hilarious.
They look like weird naked turkeys
With giant eyeballs instead of necks.
out of their buttholes.
Ugh, this is horrible. Rodriguez and Hodges later asserted that the brains were bluish in color and were shrouded by a strange localized vapor. They described one of the creatures being approximately the size of an overgrown softball, while the second one had the dimensions of a human torso and most startlingly seemed to have a red eye-like organ wedged in the center of its frontal lobe. This is a lot. This is a lot of information.
Oh, wow.
It
Yeah, I
is.
didn't even scroll. I just saw the name and was like, yep.
I'll read this last paragraph and then I'll let the rest of it up to the viewer. Rodriguez and Hodges' puzzled demeanor quickly gave way to fear within moments. They sped away from the bizarre things. The men lived in the same neighborhood as their friends, so the journey was a brief one. Hodges dropped off Rodriguez and then made his way back home. Once he arrived at his house, he noticed, much to his consternation, that the time was 4:30 a.m. This was the journey that Hodges had made many times in the past, and for the life of him, he could not figure out how a 10-minute trip had turned into a 2-hour odyssey. He would find out soon enough. Anyone familiar with cases of alien abductions will surely be aware of a phenomenon known as missing time, which I love missing time. It's amazing. A lot of people do it on plane trips by just smoking a lot of weed. Well, not smoking, but they take some edibles and they just kind of like pass out the
I
entire
resemble
flight.
that comment.
The blue brains in the street believe that the blue brains in the street had to do something with them being abducted by aliens. The rest of that paragraph is bullshit. It's just saying, "Oh, this is what happens during a UFO sighting or abduction." Oh, there's a whole bunch more bullshit about like. It looks like they go through some hypnotherapy. Oh man, there's so much more to this. After a bunch of bullshit, apparently he claimed to. Hodges believed to be receiving telepathic messages from the aliens.
Probably is.
I just read a thing about that this war would spread swiftly into Europe. Jesus Christ, there's a lot more to this than I thought. What the fuck? Alright, I'm out of there.
Too deep.
Fuck that o'clock.
Giant goldfish is listed as a cryptid. And it's a picture of that one that guy found a couple of years ago in the lake that was like 4 feet long.
That's funny.
This website's kind of reaching.
I think it's just listing everything.
There's prehistoric cryptids.
Jake,
Yeah.
what
Can I
is
help you?
this? Why does it say,
Nothing.
"Don't you think it's time we try a vag job"?
Because it's not sex, it's a pussy blowjob. With 100 speech and 100 illusion.
That sounds like a great segue for the Mothman.
No, it doesn't. No one's been fucked by the Mothman, and anyone who says so is an asshole.
Moth pussy.
I'm sure I can find pictures that contradict what you're saying.
I'm sure you can. But before we go there, I want to talk about this fucking weirdo thing that looks like a taxidermy nightmare.
Yep.
The Wolper Tinger. It's a fucking German thing. And it's just like a bunch of fucking... Wait, did you talk about this already? It's just a bunch of slapped on parts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
the Dutch flying jellyfish.
What the fuck?
Oh, it's just the UFO.
Oh.
Only a UFO. Get out of here. Oh, we should talk
Well,
about
I was excited for a cryptid jellyfish, so yeah. It's just a UFO.
Okay. I have one more that I actually know a lot about. Because I watched like 2 podcasts on it. I say watched, I
Burbalang?
mean listen. The Jersey Devil.
Oh, yeah.
So it's also known as the Leeds Devil because there was this family that... Okay, I'll tell you the origin of the legend. It was some old woman in the Leeds family. She was having like her 8th kid or something. Oh no, pregnant for the 13th time.
How did you do?
Yeah, cursed the child in frustration, crying that the child would be the devil. And according to the legend, the kid killed the midwife before flying up the chimney and heading into the pine trees. That's the origin. But the deeper origin was that some guy in the Leeds family, I don't remember his name. It was supposed to be him or it was his kid. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. I need to make sure. These fucking wiki articles are so huge. Honestly, just watch or listen to the last podcast episodes on the Jersey Devil, because there's this whole thing about fucking some guy and Benjamin Franklin having like a fucking feud between each other, where at one point, I might be getting this entirely wrong, but I don't know if this might be still the Jersey Devil or not, but Benjamin Franklin just at one point it's just like, oh, the guy's totally dead, and everyone believed it for some reason, and then he acted like he was talking to his ghosts in like the other guy's fucking pamphlets, because they sold pamphlets to people, and this was people's entertainment, and he just acted like he was conversing with his ghost. Apparently, up until this day, people claim sightings of it in like Jersey and shit. But the first ever, like the most interesting sighting of it was whenever someone said they had one in a museum, and it was basically just a fucking kangaroo with wings plastered on it.
Oh.
Yeah, well, wings and horns. Sorry, it's important that we tell you it has horns too. He rented a kangaroo to make this, by the way. Rented. Who rents a kangaroo?
Do you guys remember a couple of years ago there was like a national, like, somebody thought they caught Bigfoot and they thought they actually had the real thing?
Vaguely.
I want to say this was like in the 2000s, late 2000s.
Yeah, I wouldn't remember.
But like
that far
somebody
back.
went hunting and like they shot it and like they actually brought the body back. But I think it ended up being like somebody put like a deer in a costume. I don't. But it was like on CNN. Like
That's
I remember
awesome.
watching it like on national news.
Okay, now we can talk about Mothman. We'll talk about this fucking weirdo asshole.
Real quick, it was
Article on here.
2008.
2008. Yeah, that's why I vaguely remember it then.
Yeah, I just found the article from CNN.
Mothman has so many fucking different renditions, and a lot of the time he doesn't look like a moth. But
I
my
actually
favorite one's
don't
the ones
know
where he
much
looks like a
about
moth.
the Mothman other than I've heard of it.
Okay, so there's one really important bit that I remember, but there's so much around him that it's best to research it yourselves, like when you have spare time, or if you want to listen to the last podcast version of it. Which actually, the most you'll hear about it is in their third episode of Men in Black, which the Men in Black are kind of cryptidy
movie?
too.
I was just gonna say, like, obviously not the movie, but
Yeah,
like
not
the
the
Men in
movie.
Black, like the white guys with the glasses.
People think they might be aliens. They might just be
Yeah.
like weird mental projections of some man who made them up. There's a lot of weird shit.
Aliens.
Aliens is like the most common one, or even just like actual government officials.
Aliens.
It has so much fucking like interesting stuff about it though, and there's some quote unquote proof out there, but I'm really interested in it because I think it's just fun to think of that these things exist. But they think that the Mothman and the Men in Black might be connected in some way.
They're friends.
So, Mothman is... Now, the statue picture does not do it justice, because it's all metal and shit. But I think this is a statue they actually have in the town.
Why would they put a statue of it? Wouldn't that scare?
No, they put a statue of it because they can fucking get a lot of tourist revenue from it. There. That's the actual statue in West Virginia.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
It just looks like a Power Ranger with butterfly wings
The
Looks
statue
like a Power
does.
Ranger villain.
and chicken feet.
Yes. But that's like... That's probably my least favorite rendition of it.
Oh, it's just a Power Ranger with butterfly wings
Yeah.
and chicken feet and Freddy Krueger claws. The butterfly wings are really off-putting.
That picture is much better. Okay, this is much more in-depth, but I don't have time for that.
Nope.
On November 12th, 1966, 5 men who were digging a grave at a cemetery near Clendenin, I'm probably butchering that, West Virginia, they claimed to see a man-like figure fly low from the trees over their heads, often identified as the first known sighting of what became known as Mothman. Shortly thereafter, in November 15th, 1966, two young couples from Point Pleasant, Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Millette, told police they saw a large gray creature whose eyes glowed red when the car's headlights picked it up. They described it as a large flying man with 10-foot wings, following their car while they were driving. They were driving out of town in an area known as the TNT area, site of a former World War II munitions plant.
The song?
It's dynamite.
Munitions plant?
Nailed it. No, TNT, Brian. Fuck.
I got it.
Jesus, Brian. You suck.
I don't like AC/DC. Okay?
You don't
I'll
have
just
to
say it
like
now.
them to know what it is.
Yeah, but whatever. During the next few days, other people reported similar sightings. Two volunteer firemen who saw it and said it was a large bird with red eyes. Mason County Sheriff George Johnson commented that he believed the sightings were due to an unusually large heron he termed a shite poke.
Yep.
Contractor Newell Partridge told Johnson that when he aimed a flashlight at the creature in a nearby field, its eyes glowed like bicycle reflectors.
It screeked.
And blamed buzzing noises from his television set and the disappearance of his German Shepherd dog on the creature. Wildlife biologist Dr. Robert L. Smith at West Virginia University told reporters that descriptions and sightings all fit the sandhill crane, a large American crane almost as high as a man and with 7-foot-long wingspan, featuring circles of reddish coloring around the eyes.
Cranes can be frickin' huge, though.
Yeah, Brian.
The bird may have wandered off out of its migration route, and this particular crane was unrecognized at first because it was not native to this region. After December 15th, 1967 collapse of the Silver Bridge and the death of 46 people, the incident gave rise to the legend of and connected the Mothman sightings to the bridge collapse. Now, this is the part where it gets really weird because nobody knows really what happened, but some people claim that they saw the Mothman on it before the bridge collapsed. Some claim they saw it after. Some claim that he was appearing in front of people to warn them that the bridge was going to collapse. It's really weird. I never heard about the crane part, though. Or the heron.
They're big, too. We have those around here.
I've never seen one. I don't go out often, though. But yeah, some people also link it to, like, the Men in Black afterwards, because apparently, like, there was a lot more sightings of the Men in Black after this event. And I don't know.
We
People
live in a
kinda went
world
nuts.
where people connect Men in Black and the Mothman.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Not knowing the story, I don't really see where somebody could put the two together, just like...
Well, no, what happened was there's a report of one, a sighting of Men in Black, actually. It was either right before or right after. Some man visited this woman at a office, and, like, this is a funny story because the guy goes up and is asking about some shit because apparently she's, like, publishing information about the Mothman or something. This short, weird-looking man came in a black suit and was, like, asking her what she would do if she were told to shut down her paper or something. I'm butchering this once again, but whatever. But, like, he went in 2 times in total. The first time he came in and wanted to say that, but instead he was, like, fascinated by a fucking ballpoint pen. And he was just like, "Can I have this?" And she was just like, "Sure." And the guy fucking left. And then he came back in and then asked her what she would do if she stopped, like, reporting her findings and stuff. Once again, my memory's not the best, but still.
It shows.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, this is just an introduction to all of these weirdo bullshit animals. You guys can look it up on your own if you want.
I mean, we can always do a whole podcast episode dedicated to a specific one.
Yeah.
Especially if it's one like the Mothman where there's enough stuff where there are the Men in Black.
I would have to do a lot more research to do that, though. Which would require me to feel more up to the task. Or maybe either enthused or just energetic enough to want to read enough information. And generally, I don't have energy because I fucking work most of the week.
I'm sure it'll come up next week in the Alien one anyways.
Men in Black also comes up with the aliens, so yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Besides, we're not exactly, like, the smartest podcast on the internet. We're kind of just here giving you the links to everything. We're not here to tell you everything about the stuff. We're just here to tell you.
We're the middlemen.
Yeah. We're pushing you onto other people.
Like a slight outbreak of herpes.
Or like that other girl in a porn with 3 people that just kind of stands on the other side.
We're the supportive role.
Yeah.
Very supportive.
Okay, so I think this was good for cryptids.
Are you sure? Not about all those other podcasts that you want to line up with all this other stuff about them?
Jake, you talk about the podcasts you listen to all the time on here too.
Yeah, sometimes. I'll mention them.
Yeah.
I just listen to Jericho's. But he has a lot of different stuff. Like, it's not just wrestling. He has supernatural people on there. He's had cryptid stuff. Other musicians, other wrestlers, actors.
Anyways.
But thank you, everybody, for listening. That does listen.
Yes, thank you. And I hope you weren't too bored by us talking about bullshit for what I think might be almost 2 hours.
Basically.
Yeah. Sorry,
yeah,
Jake.
but by the time we cut, I mean, we did record a little early to put stuff in and,
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.